I didn't forget that I could just throw people. There we go. I'm sorry, did I just...
Yes, you teleported through. What the? You're still clipping through it.
Uh...
I can't get in your truck. Oh. Um. Uh. Um. Where'd the truck go?
uh...
Oh, it's not below.
And it
Amaru
didn't
100
break, like,
is
if
here.
it broke, it would have exploded.
Good to see
Where...
you.
That's what I was.
I love and appreciate y'all a lot. I'm gonna go get some food.
Snowman, Snowman, ready
That
to
said,
play
I will
some.
catch you
It's
next
an
time, so
emergency. I can't decide what to
my
have for my
controller. See
pre-nap
ya.
snack.
Love you.
What
I'm
should
not
I
meaning
have?
to look up her ass. The controller's upside down somewhere under my desk, and I got hunted down. I'm
Happy
sorry.
to see you again,
See ya.
Earth
Love ya.
Quakening.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hello, Starry_Gui. Fancy seeing you here.
Wait, can I? Yes!
Happy to see
I
you
found what
again,
it's
Pixel
for.
Rose.
I can't see shit, though. There, I can kind of see. Y'all know this is a lot, right? We can agree this is a lot. Like, what the fuck?
You're doing pretty well.
Amber Sparrow 95. Ready to play some cards?
My god! Oh, beautiful. Got him. Well, there went that car. Oh, it doesn't want me to fight it. Now, I know you don't want me to fight it, but I want to fight it. Technically, I think the ad's still rolling. I forgot to remove my outline again. Boop-a-doo-boop. Hello. 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 Hi. Hello, Moru. Hello, Snow. Hello, Earthquake. Hello, Starry. Hello, Rose. Hello, Amber. Hello. Hello. We're playing Minecraft tonight because I don't have the energy to give the respect that people deserve for me to play their indie games for Next Fest. It's always so jarring when the sphere hasn't loaded. Dabba-dabba. Babba-dabba. Hello. I hope everybody's doing all right. I want to show you. No, it was just one of those, because I hadn't started streaming yet, to have a Streamloots card go off, it threw me. Look at this awesome pillar I made. Look at this. Look at this. You can't do that. You can't do this in the normal game. Though I'm going to be real, Sculpt Catalyst should be able to be placed on any surface in any direction. Like, that should be a directional block. Did you know the Sculpt Catalyst has a butthole? Did you know? Did you know? The Sculpt Catalyst has a butthole on the bottom. I had no idea it did. Sculpt Catalyst has a butthole, but it makes for a really cool pillar. Also, Mojang forgot to animate the Sculpt Catalyst. But they didn't animate the dots on it. I also moved the frog lights over. So now I've got this very bright chunk on my wall. But I moved the frog lights over, so I've got almost 2 double chests of each frog light in here. So that's good. Who tried to add a quote wrong? Sorry, tried to add a quote wrong. Oh, you're fine. It's a there. So sorry, there is a channel point redeem to add quotes, but when you type just exclamation point quote, it tries to find it. If you want to add it, it's in a redeem, or you can do exclamation point add quote and then it. There you go. Yeah, quote it. Quote it is what it is. Most people just use a channel point redeem. But yeah. All right, let's go in. Nice. I've been slowly emptying the chest of like things that are redundant or like strange or whatnot. There's been little tweaks, little tweaks. There's been little tweaks to server, slight changes, things like that. I've been messing with stuff, but one that I added that I don't know if it was the best idea or not. Is I added a thing that allows the sniffers to dig up anything that's in the trail ruins. That said, it is getting a lot. It's getting a decent bit of trims, getting a bunch of sherds. I have a couple of these. I've actually got 2 in storage. And hey, Sniffleupagus. There you go. And there you go. Every once in a while, I come up here and do that. So that way we can make sure that we have our sniffer eggs. Well, I hope you have fun with your sewing and whatnot, Dor. Hi, Larmouth. Larmouth, when are you getting on the server? I'm curious. Now, y'all saw what we had before. We had started on a path. Now I haven't got to show you this for a bit. PC. You should be able. I know you've been having PC issues, but you should be able to if you just lower a lot of the settings, because I think by default you're gonna end up having like Voxy on and things like that. But if you, before even launching it, go into your video settings and lower all that crap, you should be fine. There's nothing intensive in the mod pack. I think Voxy's the one thing that'd be hitting you. If you disable Voxy from rendering, I think you'll be okay. But this is what you had seen before, as I did this section, y'all. And you may notice already how much I've added. It's not necessarily any structures, but I did planning. So I've got a section of this that I went out this way with. Right, and that just goes over a little ways. And then we were working on that bridge last stream, I believe. So I started counting out where I want the pillars to be. And then we've got a bigger gap here. Right. So we've got a bigger gap there. And then that area, I'll make a suspension bridge that'll go straight up rather than over. And then I haven't touched this section of land, but I want it to go over to here, where we have another bridge. Get rid of that tree. Get rid of that tree. I'm just going to slowly knock away some of these trees, because I know I'm going to need them. There we go. There's so many trees in the way that I do not need. Boop, add a boop, add a boop, add a boop. Right, so we'll just get rid of those. But then I started work on figuring out this bridge's position. So we've got a big bridge that goes into the middle of the ice now. Because I had an idea, and I don't know if I mentioned this on stream. I want to do a lighthouse out here. Like I want to do a lighthouse out here. Nothing can spawn there right now. But I want to do a big lighthouse out in this section. That looks like it's the source of the cold. Hey, bagged. Yeah, like what do you mean by bagged? What do you mean by setup? This is kind of the thing, because setup can mean a lot to a lot of different people. What are we talking when we say setup? But yeah, I want to do a big lighthouse here. Also, I love how the lighting looks on the map. That is a really cool octagram. But I want to create like a lighthouse with like magic and whatnot affecting it to make this storm here. And I haven't exactly figured out the overall design, but I think we can do it. Now, I also want to show from here, if my view is right. Yeah, we can see Fox has a cabin now, which is pretty cool. Creeper. I also replaced my sword with a spear now, which is named Adhesive Medical Strips, which I am a fan of. Let's go back into our base and go up to our big room. I haven't done much change here, but I did end up placing a bunch of light sources in here rather than the glass panes that were there, so now it's a little more open. How's it going, Chalice? There's a mod I want to get, but it's not up to date for this version. But it doubles the range of the music discs, and it removes the 3D audio aspect from it. And it doesn't start fading out till 50 blocks, which I feel is better and what it should be. Because music discs are not great for what they are right now. Keep finding more redstone and discs that I somehow missed. Like, I'm trying to put them together, and it's like, how do I keep not having these where they're supposed to be? Let's turn up my music a little bit. There we go. I'm sorry you were late to therapy, Chalice. Hope you're doing all right. Grab you. Put these in there. That is my bone meal. That is my faster bone meal collection thing. We're collecting plenty of bone meal up in the other one in here already, but go here, and then I'm just trying to speed this up. Eventually that'll get full, and then that'll all be good, but I love how bright that is. It's also really intimidating. That's why I spread out these lights. Right, like I have these three pretty spread out. Those three being in one spot is like, boom! Hi, Mari. I'm sorry, I didn't say hello. Hello, Mari. And hello, Tonberry. I also placed the rest of the chest except for right here so I can get out if I need to down here. Oh, fog. It's raining again on the server. But I placed all of that. I want to get more white concrete. So I've got those two. I can do 8, 8. Okay, I've got enough space to do 3 sets of 8, which is good, but I'm going to need some white dye. So let's go here. Do I have any white dye that I left in this? Yep, 3 stacks. That's what I wanted. More about what's needed to use for OBS and what is best in terms of video settings. So that's really gonna that's gonna really change things up a bit. Hey Rexon. So that's really gonna depend a bit on your internet bagged. Like that's one of the big things. If you would, for me to be able to help you a little bit better on this, assuming your PC is not awful, is a step here. But go to fast.com, F-A-S-T. It's a it is a website that does speed tests, but it's owned by Netflix, which means it's harder for companies to go and kind of lie on their outputs like they do with things like speedtest.net. And tell me what your upload speed is. So you'll have to let it run one full pass, and then it'll have a show more info option, and then it'll allow you to see the upload. And let me know what your upload is on fast. It'll say like how many megabytes per second. Unless you know your upload speed offhand. If you know your upload speed already, you can just tell me that, and then I'll be able to help you a little bit more. Let's get from here. We need gravel and sand. So 8 there, 4 there. I am going to throw that there, throw that there. 8 there, 4 there. Go here. Things I can make only. White concrete powder, white concrete powder, white concrete powder. Throw all of that in here. Okay. Give me my bucket. Go here. Go here. There we go. That goes in there. Got all the white concrete. Go get the ones I threw on the ground. Around 200. Okay, so you have more than enough. So my recommendation for the best looking stream without taxing your system and lowering quality, assuming given the community I saw you in, you're mainly going to be playing Minecraft, and I'm guessing you're not planning on YouTube, right? Otherwise you would already have kind of video settings figured out. So I'm guessing you're mainly just doing streaming. You may not have access to the enhanced broadcast settings with it, but in OBS for your settings, if you go to output, I would recommend you do make sure. I gotta remember exactly what the settings are. I might have a small lag spike while I open this, and I apologize, chat. One sec. Hey, no lag spike that time. Cool. So what I would recommend doing is going to first things first is go to the video. In settings, go to video. And then for that, you're going to want to set your base canvas resolution to 1080p, so 1920 by 1080. Output scaled should be exactly the same, so you're not scaling. And then set the FPS to 30. Any higher than that, and you're going to be, like, if you do 60, you're going to be having the detail of your stream. And most people, and I'm sure chat here can attest to it, most people are not actively watching you play the game. They have you on another monitor, or it's sitting next to them, and they're listening and glancing over at it. So doing 60 is just going to lower the quality for people who aren't actively watching. So it'd be nicer to have a better quality rather than a smoother quality. At least that's my opinion. Obviously, that can change person to person. You may have a different feeling on that. That's my general stance on it. It does vary from person to person how they feel about it, but that's my stance on that. And then what you'll want to do after that is I would recommend going to output. Now, this is going to depend on your computer, obviously, for a little bit of this. Set your video coder. I'm assuming you have an NVIDIA card. If you don't, then it is a little bit different. But if you've got an NVIDIA card, it is an NVENC. You want to do NVENC NVENC H264 as your video encoder. It'll run it on the hardware. It runs a bit smoother. It's better there. And that is that little bit for it. And then your audio should be fine. Now, the part that gets a little questionable, but this may not be available to you. I am not sure if it is available to you or not, because assuming you haven't streamed because you're asking this, you don't have affiliate yet. I don't know if affiliate's required. But under settings stream, there's a section called multi-track video. In that section, assuming you're you're gonna need to go stream your destination. You're gonna do auto, have that connected to your Twitch. Multi-track video, enable enhanced broadcasting. That'll handle your bitrate for you. So that'll be the main thing you want to do there, and that'll handle that for you. And then you shouldn't really have to mess with too much stuff. Most of it's pretty good out the box for your PC, probably. But those are the main things to worry about. Because that lets me have a bitrate up to, like right now, I'm sending 14,000 bitrate. But you have the internet upload speed. You should be fine on that, so that shouldn't be a worry. Is the key thing there. So. But that should be all you really need to set it up with. Obviously, you're going to have your own things to worry about when it comes to setting up OBS and getting the like sources in the right spot and things like that. That's a whole conversation itself. But the enhanced video broadcasting works really well. I've been using it for a few months now, and nobody's complained about the quality. I've watched my clips, and they're coming in clear as possible. It's fantastic. So, yeah. Okay, we've got this. I want to do more. I don't know what I'm going to do for this building overall, though. This is kind of thing. So let's free cam really quick. If I go up here, like, I don't know what I want to do with this building. I mean, this is the main building. I should be doing a lot with this building, but I don't know what I want to do with the roof. I think the roof is going to be highly dependent on the inside. Like, we've got a bit of a dome here, and then a level area. Yeah, no problem. I one of my favorite things is to help people with that. I don't know if you are on Blue Sky. I recommend Blue Sky out of all the social media sites. Blue Sky is the best one you can use. It also isn't constantly pushing right wing BS. But go to if you are, find me on there, and then there's a tab on my profile that goes to feeds. There is a section called Streamer Tips, where I have just done a handful of things. There's a lot of them related to OBS and things like that that might help you out. Or Twitch advice in general for moderation, all of that might be worth your time. Okay, so what I'm thinking right now is I want to work on these ceilings. If we look here, right? So we've got this. I want to do a fairly level ceiling here without too much variation, but I want to also kind of slope into this. So I think we get a curve going off of this. Right, so we've got our three. I think we do a piece here, and then we do like a two. I think that'll work. This is going to be kind of rough, but work our way up. Okay, so I appreciate it, Bag. I have had this character. Technically speaking, I've had this character for. This character has been slowly evolving in my head since I was 13. So it has been around the majority of my life. And then the artwork was done by more recently by Myra the Farmer. Outfit is designed by me. Character is designed by me. Artwork is done by Myra the Farmer, who does fantastic, beautiful artwork. Mari also designed by me, redrawn by Myra. And then it is animated in a program called RahiTuber, RAHI, involving animated parts for all the layers and stuff like that. And then I painted all of the scenery behind me. I created the little calf pine swinging around, though the outfits, a majority of the outfits were made by the community, submitted in, but all of the little calf pine swinging around are done by me, the pixel art and whatnot. And we'll be doing pixel art on the Minecraft server soon for those who are excited for that little bit of information. We'll be adding a painting mod to the server, which we had those before. And I really enjoyed them. 1, 2, and 3. But those will be making a comeback soon. Okay, does that feel right? Does that curve start feeling right? Yeah, we do that. We do 2. I should have got rid of that block. 2, 2, 3. Yep. Up it up. Go over here. Up. Okay. But no, helping people with their streams is one of the things I absolutely love doing. My favorite thing to do is help people be their best. So when it comes to simple advice or explaining things that can be a bit confusing for people, I like to help as best I can. The main thing people usually have an issue with is bitrate, and I used to have like a whole thing about like recommending certain resolutions, but honestly, the enhanced bitrate has been perfect. So as long as you've got the speeds, you're pretty set on using the enhanced bitrate. That's just usually where it gets people. One thing I will say, Bagged, that you're going to want to look into if you're doing this, assuming you are streaming off of the same PC you are playing Minecraft on. Get a mod for your Minecraft that allows it to run in borderless full screen, because otherwise you're going to end up with some choppy bits, some lag spikes, things like that. I'm trying to remember what the name of the one I'm using is. Can I do border? Border? Yeah, Cubes Without Borders is the one I'm using. It changes the full screen to borderless full screen, which means it doesn't freak out when you tab out, things like that. It just makes it run a bit better. Highly recommend. Hey, Arky. 1, 2, 3, and then I want to do. Okay, that would be 4. I did 3, 3. Let's do 4 there, and then 5 there. And then I think I can just, you know what, I'm going to get rid of this piece. Ding. And that can just go all the way across. I'm going to have to light this up for now, otherwise this will be a death trap, but I hope... That's the one flaw with scaffold. I don't think you should have an edge where you can just, like, hop on it. Okay. So now, if we look from here, press my is that my Kanoko key? Yeah, that's my, or no. Yeah, that's my, wait, which one is that? No, that is my, F4 is my Marcy key. Sorry, I got new keycaps. That's Marcy. F4 is Marcy. Okay. So I think what I need to do, because the shape is there, but I don't like how that feels. I feel like we should have one more slopey bit. That maybe goes right here. So I'm going to push that up, and that moves us 3 over. This might look a little wonk for a moment. Boop-a-doop. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. I also want to be clear, tonight was either going to be this or Romeo is a Dead Man, which I have a sponsored stream due. I don't technically have a date I need to do it by, but I need to keep that in my planning. So I'm going to get rid of that one, and it would be that one. But I don't want to. I'm not certain. How are we looking? Yeah, no, I think that's fine. I need to shorten that, extend that. And then extend. Wait, if I extend that one, extend that one, extend that one. Twice? I'm not sure. This is going to be kind of iffy. Okay. What did I say? My brain's going, Like, that's now a 6. That's a 5. Move you over by 1. That's actually not bad there. Yeah, I'm okay with this. This is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that does do a gradual slope. I'm okay with that. Down we go. Like, I'm by no means an expert on streaming stuff, but I would say I'm more educated than a lot of people are on it, and I try to explain it in a way that I would prefer to be explained. Like, I do most of my help on setting up streams in Blue Sky Post in threads because I find that a lot easier than video guides and stuff that people will go through, or like, oh, I need to pause, I need to fast forward, I need to double check this, double check that, and it's just it's not nice. I don't like doing it. I don't. That's the big thing. I just don't like doing that. Why is my mouth not again? My mouth is not opening far enough. It's supposed to be opening further than this, and it's not. If I move that to the left, are we opening further? Are we good now? There we go. My mouth just does not like opening properly, and you know what? Honestly, my real life mouth doesn't either. So it's technically accurate. So here's a bit of the quote-unquote Cameron lore when you guys joke around about it. There is actually some legitimate Cameron lore here. I do not have the ability to open my mouth fully. My mouth opens about 75% as far as most people. Like, you know how, like, sometimes you'll get, like, a big burger or things like that, and they're like, wow, how does it fit in your mouth? It doesn't fit in my mouth. They don't. I am the person with a fork and knife because my mouth doesn't open that far. My mom is the same way. We both cannot open our mouths very far, which also makes the dentist a pain in the butt. Open your mouth further. I can't. Open it further. I literally cannot. It is in my files. My mouth does not open that far. It is not Arky, sadly. I have an extra bit of bone, like a thicker bit of bone at the back of my jaw that stops it from opening. All the way, we got 15 sniffer eggs now. If anybody on the server needs a sniffer egg, you are welcome to take one, though try and breed them. Exactly, Door. Hey, Big Beat. Okay, those are going to follow me around forever. Do that, do that. I like how from here, the purple and black looks like a missing texture. I really love how the light looks back in there, though, going to do this. Yeah, there is a little bit of added color. Hey, Midgelings, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Okay, but I think we do that slope. And I think for the time being... Yep, you are welcome to a second egg, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry you got sick. I did catch that in your stream. You were having a less talky stream because you weren't your voice wasn't doing well, right? I believe that was you. 2 days ago? 3 days ago? Or yesterday? I've taken so many naps, I have lost track of what day anything happened. I've been in like full-on nap mode. Actually, I don't want this. I don't want a solid floor here. I do want that slope, but I'm trying to think of... It was yesterday? Well, okay, so just gotta put perspective on this. Yesterday, after my stream ended, I took a nap, right? Woke up for a bit, slept again, streamed an hour, slept again, woke up this morning, streamed, took a nap, woke up again, took another nap, Like I have been like nap, so I have no idea what day anything is anymore. Okay, so if I look here, right, and we have this, I'm picturing seeing this from below, and I feel like seeing this from below, we get a very specific design kind of going on. I want these to be clearly holding up this bit of the ceiling. Like I want this. So we've got a actual consistent like slope going up. But I want to I'm gonna need to do like a little mini arch in those. But I want this, but I want from when I'm down here, I want looking up to be also a kind of haze situation going up. So I think it's going to be very important that I make sure that we have space. So I don't want the roof to necessarily be right here. I want the roof to go up a few blocks. And I got to view this from a void floor perspective. So we have, if the ceiling starts right above that rafter, so right here, then we have a gap, then we do another one, then we have a gap. So glass, gap, floor, and then ceiling. Glass, gap, floor. Yeah. Glass, gap, glass. And I could do glass there, which would also continue the effect. But I think if we do that, right, we get our effect, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a 5-block gap. Okay. So I'm just gonna do this exact pattern up 5. And we'll worry about like connecting that into the structure later. That it doesn't fully matter if that bit makes sense. Oop, I was holding shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boo boo doo boo. I like the vibe of this music though. If it is too loud, please do let me know. Doo doo. Hey, Clue. Well, what I basically ran into is I ran into a station on TikTok, or a channel on TikTok, not a station. But basically what it is it is a collection of Japanese, it's like recommended Japanese artists you've never heard of, and they play them on vinyl, but I'm like these are all really good like stream jams. And I try to stick to non-English for a lot of my streams when I play music, because I want people to be able to listen to me, and if there are lyrics, it's probably not going to distract them if any of them do pop up. Because that's one of the big things that'll mess with people. It's like, yeah, you could listen to that, but it's like I also won't try to sing it, right? So you get in these spots where it's not going to throw off what you're trying to do, what you're trying to listen to. I'm not going to do this yet. I want to do kind of a spot here that's going to be some sort of special visual, but I'm not sure what it is yet. Also, we're going to be adding a mod to the server that allows us to generate particles. You know what? I'm going to change up the music, though, a little bit. Let's I'm going to keep the same vibe, but I'm going to change the artist. Where are we at? Who is this band? Here we go. Turn it down just a little bit. Good luck, Clue. Switching to a third shift? I've been there. Burr, 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 burr. Okay, but I want to do like right here, right? So when we're down below, we're not going to see that top one. That should be in minor void fog. Like that'll be a minor void fog effect, and then the actual ceiling will be up here. Now, I'll have extra structure I'll be putting in between, but I think the main thing, that's going to be pillar based. So I should be fine. I'll just have to puncture spots in it when I do it. The main thing here is I need to extend this now over. So let's go here. And if you are new and you're wondering why I'm building everything in concrete, I changed it up later. But my building philosophy is that one should focus on the light play against the shadows first, before dealing with actually putting in the color and all of that. So that is center, center, center. So I think this is my diagonal point. But no, I play with light versus shadow before I bother with anything else. That is the corner. So it would be right here all the way across for the next layer. I don't quite need that right now. I need to go right here, though. I actually had this idea the other day. If I were to ever do something, like if I were on a server like Hermitcraft, right? Where I was trying to make videos and stuff to create something interesting. I think what I would actually do is probably create my own resource pack where everything was just flat white and I didn't know what block I was building with. Where I would be strictly focusing on the shape of the unique blocks that have slight variations in it. So there would be use of shorter blocks and things like that. And then I would just toggle that off whenever I left my base. So I would try my best not to look at my base when it's in that. And so then other people wouldn't see what was really going, like I wouldn't even see what was going on in my base until the end. But the idea of having just one that is made purely in white blocks, in my own perspective, I think could create a really interesting conversation about like how much that lighting matters and what you can do with just that lighting. But to create that contrast, right? Have mostly the white, have some that are have blacks and grays in there, right? But like you're mainly just dealing with lighting. And I think that would be really cool to see a project grow in that way. Bum 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 bum. Come on. Nope. No, there, okay. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. Can't have you. There we go. But yeah, we'll have to think of something fancy to do for this spike here. But I just want to get a roof on this little section. I'm kind of tired of it not having a roof. I also think it would be good if I start figuring out kind of the shape of this main building, because it's one of the key things you see when you enter my base. You see the sphere, but you also see this building, and I think having this building to really get the idea set in of how tall things are, because even some of these buildings I do want to kind of go up higher, but that one to be low, I need to figure out these exact like gaps, these heights, where things will connect to, what type of stuff we're dealing with a lot of it. And I think just getting some of the general shapes on the biggest like literally the biggest building of my base, I think is important. Boo, 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 boo. I like when you get a keyboard in a song where the keyboard sounds almost like it's a wind instrument, but it's not quite there. Well, I guess in this case, a brass instrument. But it almost sounds like a brass instrument. It is a keyboard, and it's clearly a keyboard, but it's like right on that line of this could be a brass. Like you could replace this with a trumpet or similar and get that effect if you wanted. And I love that. Okay. Hey, Cold. So yeah, we'll go there. Yeah, I think this will really help establish that shape. Because I also kind of want to do, like, maybe a Japanese-inspired roof on this for a bit of it, mixed with something else. I think we do that, like a pagoda roof. So on this edge, we start curving up, but we've got this glass here. But I think that just means we do kind of like an outward one unique to this bit. And then we have the pagoda roof go out, which is why that building ends up shorter. And we create kind of this, like, sharp difference to everything. I think a pagoda roof would work really well. Personally. Okay, it should be right there. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. That is the center line. Ugh. Sniff, a little bit sniffly. Burr, burr. Burr, 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 burr. But yeah, the server probably tomorrow at some point. I will be adding the crazy painting mod, which is basically somebody continuing the painting, the joy of painting mod since that's not updating anymore, with some neat improvements like the ability to do transparencies, so we can make stickers like Cleo did, which is absolutely fantastic. So it's got the ability to do stickers and things like that, which will allow people to really elevate their builds, I think, in a good way. And then we'll be adding a particle generator, which is made by Shy Nike, and Mr. Bisco. And it is, it'll allow us to create particles where we want. And I'm gonna have to toy with it a lot to see what's all there, and I think a hard part is gonna be not overdoing it. But I think having access to the particles will allow people to do some really cool visual stuff that they might not elsewhere. But we'll have to toy with it, right? Do 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 do. Movement feels a little jarring here for some reason. Ugh. Methinks the air is dry. Methinks I should turn on my humidifier. Humidifier! Power on. Hi, BB. Hello, buddy. How many is this? Is this 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. Hey, bunny. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. How you doing, bunny? I hope you're doing well. Ba-ba-da-boop, boop, 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 boop. There we go. Here we go. Burr, 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 burr. I feel that, buddy. I just turned on my humidifier right before you checked in. There we go. Interesting choice, Starry. I do find those cards to be hilarious in my very white base. Because you can see where the lights are. It does work on a lot of things. It doesn't amusingly work properly on the main thing I'm staring at. For those who don't know what yellow eye is, yellow eye only shows the yellows in my build. It removes all other colors. I do think it's a very interesting like thing to place down though, because it really does add this little bit of perspective into our builds and what is, or into like the colors of everything, because you go, oh wow, no, that does contain yellow. Doo-doo. Well, that's good at least, bunny. Do-do-do-do-do. There you go there. I need to figure out how I want to do. So I have this here, right? And you might be wondering why I have the panes of glass there. I need a second beacon beam. Like, I genuinely need a second beacon beam. But the point is that there's supposed to be a beacon beam there no matter what, but when we're using Voxy and you're too far away, it doesn't render that. So I added the fake beacon beam there, but I need it lit up, so that way when people are viewing from distance, that is still lit up glass, which it remembers whether or not it's lit. So I need to place a whole bunch of light sources there. It might still work from a distance, honestly, and be lit up if the beacon is there. I'm unsure. So I'll maybe, before I do that, move the beacon down and check how that's looking. There we go. And this one's only 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3. What's your favorite game at the arcade, Bunny? I feel like this is an important question. You've talked about going to the arcade a bunch, but you've never said what your favorite game is. Or is arcade a different meaning that I'm not understanding it? I assume you mean arcade in the sense that I understand arcade, not arcade in the sense of like a shopping mall, which I know some places call that an arcade, which confuses me. It is that music game. Okay, yeah, I thought so. You've mentioned the music game, so I assumed it was the one, but I didn't want to be wrong. I think in the States, the only usage of arcade we really see outside of meaning a gaming arcade is a rollercade. I don't think I've ever heard arcade used in anything else. think those are like the strict only two. Ooh. You got a mini arcade. That's cool though. Like arcades are one of those things that were a really wonderful thing to have around. Oh, that's just the rhythm room. Okay. Okay. See, that was an important distinction that you did not give me. I think the big problem I have with a lot of arcades is all the cabinet volumes are always too high. I would love an arcade, but one that is designed to appeal more to adults by having the volume at a much lower volume. Give me a comfier atmosphere and like focus on that. I think I'd be much happier with it. Like, give me a more grown-up atmosphere on the arcade. Obviously, no restrictions. Like, kids can still come in and whatnot, but give me one that has the vibe of like more of a lounge kind of vibe. I still can't get over Atari on their website has this like I think it's like a $3,000, maybe a little more, coffee table, and it's a magnet-based Pong, and I want it so bad. I don't need it by any stretch, but I want it so much. Hey, Otter. Oh, that's awesome, buddy. Bam, ba-da, dun, dun, dun. There we go. Something like that. Why'd my phone ding? Really, Twitch? Did you just realize I'm live? Twitch just realized I'm live. Thank you, Twitch. Totally appreciate that. Everyone's like, hey, you can check out your creator dashboard. I know. Been live for an hour. I do think it's really weird though to tell me that like, hey, you can check out your creator dashboard for things from your phone. Like, yeah, I suppose you could, but
You've got a great
that's awesome, buddy.
personality.
Boop. I was like, hey, you're live like 5 minutes before it's gonna switch to ad mode. Like, yeah, I don't run ads in the afternoon. People deal with pre-rolls during the afternoon. During the mornings, I have pre-rolls. Like, I try to run them every hour, but... Oof. I'm sorry you lost that little bit, but I'm glad you found it back, Bunny. There is a OG in this community that is mostly a lurker nowadays. But if you ever run into Blockade, I feel like you would get along very well with them. They are a bit of a rhythm game addict. Do, 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 do. Okay, so there. 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 It is for me, buddy. I got no rhythm. My rhythm is as good as Ethos' pronunciation of it. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ugh. Hey, VJ. Uh-oh, I got sneeze. Hey! Woo! Ugh. Woo! Sorry about that. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, Somya. But burp, burp. Burp, burp. Burp, 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 burp. Do, 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 do. Well, I'm just saying this to somebody. I used to play Guitar Hero and DDR. I just have no rhythm. I have to play off of visuals. I I I literally have no sense of timing or no sense of timing, and I am completely tone deaf. Like, I'm not even joking when I say that. Like, it's just that's the case. I enjoy music, but like my enjoyment of music is I like how this sounds. I'm cool with that, but that is just the facts of the matter. There we go. But yeah, like I used to be like good at Guitar Hero, super expert. But again, it was visual based timing when I did it. Like this is the thing. It was visual based timing. I could time things for when the things synced up on screen. The music actually could have been gone. That's just I don't have any sense of musical timing. It's just how my brain is. Like I tried to learn guitar when I was younger, doesn't work. Okay, so let's turn that off and actually get a look at this. So from below, we actually have a bit of a roof now. And it is funny that it does get narrower here, which I'm good with. But technically speaking, if you were to do this and you were trying not to have this get narrower, you would want the slope to start probably a block sooner there, block sooner there, 2 blocks sooner there, 2 blocks sooner there, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, and go up. So there'd be a bigger gap. Because you need this angle to be 5 at that slope, not this angle and this angle, where we're probably hitting about a 4 or a 3. Again, doesn't exactly matter here. I'm going to be doing a fog ceiling up there. And I've talked about wanting to force perspective, and I think this will actually force it even more. So I'm okay with this, but something to be aware of if you're trying for a specific look. Do 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 do. go. Are you hand sewing it, or are you doing it with a machine in that case, Door? I don't know the overall approach, but if you're doing it by hand, would it help to attach the other piece of... Okay, then attach the other piece of Velcro to it so it's already closed. I feel like that would solve the issue there for you. So you close the Velcro where you can and then sew the one side down. Oh, I am so sorry to hear that, Bunny. Itchy nose! Boo, 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 doo, boo. I always enjoy kind of doing bits like this and looking at the minimap while I do it. Because when you get these layered systems, you get a really interesting minimap. Oh no! I've actually run out. Actually ran out of stuff. Ran out of blocks. Yeah, I kind of figured, Door, but if you're able to overlap them, you could, or if you were able to connect them already, you would be basically filling up the loops already, therefore stopping the issue of them doing that, you know? There we go, and then do not want, do not want, do not want, do not want, do not want. Okay, we need to go to our, we need to go up top, go to our storage, get in here. How much will that give me? That does give me the 3 stacks, so after I'm going to put this 6 in here manually. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, believe in
Fair
your
enough.
dreams.
Fair enough, Door. Believe in your dreams. 6, 7, 8. And then I do 4. And then 8 and 4. Go here. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Did all that right. Line ourselves up with our cauldron. Cauldron concrete needs to be in the vanilla game. It would be more annoying than this, I'm sure, but like just the ability to throw it in a cauldron. I don't think all that converted. Oh, it did. Didn't feel like it. Make sure I got everything. There we go. Cool. Ba-ba-ba-da-da. Over there. Go all the way up here. Do that. Go up one more. There we go. Itchy eye. Have a good one, buddy. Do 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 do. Burp 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 bum. Do 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 do. I think what's going to happen for this spot here is I think I'm going to need to... I could slope that down gently. Like, I'm trying to figure out this piece, right? I could slope it down gently. Or I could just have it go straight across, which I think would be very interesting, but I want more definition than that. So I think I want... Do I want to do... I think I want to do a curve, so I want to get rid of that little bit on the top. Nice, buddy. Sprigatito is arguably the best Pokemon starter, even better than Bulbasaur, and I will die behind those words, and that's fine. But I think it's important that we acknowledge the wonderment that is, in fact, Sprigatito's amazing design. Sorry, Sobble's in the bottom half for me. I'm sorry. I don't much care for the crying frog. There we go. Go there. When and when. Okay. I think Piplup is okay. I don't know. There's designs that don't speak inspired to me. And Piplup's design is decent, but I feel like the later evolutions aren't as fun. I think one of the most disappointing ones overall, though, if we can agree here, is actually Oshawott. I like Poplio. I think Poplio hate is sexism. I think Poplio hate is sexism. Even if you don't like clowns, I think you can still appreciate the design. But I think the full-on hate that Poplio gets is sexism. Because they don't think they can be a Prismarina and have a male one. Oshawott ending up on all fours for the final evolution is where it falls apart. Oshawott's last stage just doesn't fit with the rest. I think that design could have been used elsewhere. I think they could have done a lot with it. I don't understand the removable swords in it for a Pokemon that doesn't have arms is also really weird in the final evolution. It has removable swords. Like, Oshawott is somehow worse than Litten's. And that's a lot. Oshawott would be really... Oshawott's design... Actually, let's talk about this. Oshawott's design is a lot better if we were still in the era that existed for Pokemon where there was the whole great Pokemon Conquest thing, right? If you had somebody riding into battle on Oshawott's final evolution, which Samurott, if you had somebody riding into battle on a Samurott, that is an amazing Pokemon. But the context of Pokemon as it is, that Pokemon feels extremely out of place. Like, I think it would work really well as a mount in battle and be amazing and really cool, and like it would fit that. But there's never a situation where that theming would make sense nowadays, right? And I think that's the thing. That's the reason it doesn't quite work. Okay, so if we go 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, I think we go with that one. Which I believe is that one. I want to do here. Then we do 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Oh. The thing we're going to end up with is we're going to end up with a second slope in here. In the middle, and we're going to be tapering it out. I think I do a 4, and then we'll do another 4, just to smooth it a little bit. But that creates kind of a weird spot. But if I do that, and then... Actually, let's just... I'm going to take a risk here. We're going to do that. And then 1, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, I like that shape. I like that curve there. It's going to take some adapting to get it to slope correctly out of this from the ceiling that's inside. But I think this shape is a good shape to have. But Sprigatito's line is the best one because it also has like the best I would say middle evolution out of starters. Like Florigato is actually like a really good design, and there's not a lot of Pokemon that have good good middle evolutions, especially in starters. And I think that's one of the big things for me is like, no, it's got a good starter and middle evolution. And you just don't see that. Okay. Malwarebytes just popped up on my screen. Well, that does its own thing. Okay. Bada-banu. I really do like that curve. I think we're going to have an interesting edge here for a lot of this, but I really do like that curve. We've got the low point of our pagoda here, and I want to curve it back up a little bit on the outer edge, outer corners, which is going to be rough again. But I want to adapt from that. Okay, so we go out like that. Go up again. I don't want to go up as far. This is the one catch. I don't want to go up as far as we did elsewhere. But I do want to go up a bit, right? So, like, where this one levels out on this layer, this one I want to level out here, and then we'll curve up here. It's going to be a real pain to do this roof, but that's fine. I don't mind dealing with that. Do 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 do. Because once you get the roof sorted, then it's awesome and amazing, and everybody loves you, and they like you, and they subscribe. But that back there so I can light those up without it being too obtrusive. There we go. Wow, 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 wow. This, right now, is music I would expect in a Final Fantasy boss fight. Do 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 do. Actually, you know what? This is the Final Fantasy X-2 final boss music, is what this is. This is the Final Fantasy X-2 final boss music. Like, that's played on a pipe organ, but it's made out of Machina. This song works. You know what? You could also do it as the final boss music in Final Fantasy XIII, which is also played on a pipe organ. By the Pope. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da-na-na-na. I just pictured it like Undertale, and then the keyboard being the character trying to talk to you. Whoever you're fighting. Oh, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. Is there a Final Fantasy 14? Yes. Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO, door. Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO, and then Final Fantasy 15 is a road trip, and then Final Fantasy 16 is a solo journey on where you're the only person who can see Moogles. There is no Final Fantasy 17. I think that would be the next one we're waiting on. But 16 was a bit of a flop, and they tried blaming a lot of random shit on it. I have no idea. Why am I getting a Malwarebytes pop-up? What is happening here? I need to figure this out. Why are you doing a thing? We're gonna drop a couple frames. What are you doing? Okay, that's a vast. You're not supposed to be doing anything right now. I don't appreciate you, like, doing things without my permission. Oh, that's cool, door. Ugh, okay. That's interesting, Clue. Ugh. Ugh. Do 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 do. Nice, door. Well, if it makes you feel any better, door, Final Fantasy 14 is free up to level 60. Maybe 70? Is it 70 now? Is free up to level 60, and you can play the entire blah 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 blah, the number one MMO blah 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 blah. Something something tangent copy pasta at this point. Up to level 70, no restrictions on playtime, thank you. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll wonder why when you start playing the game somebody flies by on a whale. I think the fun with Final Fantasy XIV is that it simultaneously is extremely serious and not serious at all. Like, that's the main thing going for it. It is both extremely serious and the least serious thing you will ever play. Like, what do you mean there's a thing about zombies that are all flexing? What do you mean that's an actual main story thing? The Manderville Man. I was one of the original players. I just could not remember the password to my original account. Like, I was one of the people who played Final Fantasy XIV when it first came out. Like, that account, if I could ever remember the password to it, has the whole Kate Sith mob available to me. For those who know, you know. Has the Kate Sith mob, has the tattoo, all of it, and I cannot remember the password to it. I'm sad. Because my main thing when I played was being a minion collector. I think that's the other way around, Amoru. Isn't it lore-wise Nier's world is a part of 14? Like, we actually got to switch that around because Final Fantasy's world is confusing in itself. But I believe that's got to go the other way around. Because Nier was added to the world of 14 via an event, not the other way around. Okay, so I think flaw number one with the way I've done this is I want to add. I think I need to add this as more of a ridge, so we need to treat this kind of like a scale or a spine, right? So I'm gonna push that down. Visually. And I can figure out the overall slope later, but I wanna push that down. So we actually have a curve here, right? But I think keeping that is important. There we go. We can do it here as well. Yeah, I think it's just important to have this little like ridge. I think that makes it feel more intentional. You know, I actually recently read a thing, if we're gonna be talking about Nier, I feel like it needs to be brought up. Yoko Taro apparently keeps pitching games and they'll start them and they keep getting canceled. Not by himself, but by whoever's publishing it, which would be Square. Like, Yoko Taro keeps making games, they start working on the games that are getting canceled by Square. So Square is being a real pain in the butt here. And I think that needs acknowledged. Yeah, I just learned about this the other day. Up, 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 up. Yeah, I believe it's been a kind of thing of like they don't see an audience for the games he wants to make, but he had one bad game, I believe. He had one bad game, which was a kind of dungeon crawler. Let's see. See if this will pop up. Yoko Taro news. A new Evangelion series is coming from Studio Kara and Yoko Taro. But where is it? Yeah, that's kind of taking over things. 2 days ago. There's still no word on Nier 3. It's overshadowed by apparently Evangelion news, so great news for those who love Evangelion. If you love Evangelion, there's a new Evangelion coming out, I guess. FF Tactics, I think. Okay, so I think the situation with that, Larmith, that I think is important to acknowledge is FF Tactics came out in like, what, 96? FF Tactics original release date 97. I was 1 year off. So, I mean, the fact that it came out in 97 greatly changes a bit of perspective on FF Tactics, right? That I think is still one of the better Final Fantasies. And I'm not hating on a lot of the Final Fantasies. The only one I will hate on is 7. 7 bugs me. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Okay, go there, go there. Go there. Nee. There. Go one lower. I have more of a gripe with 7 because of the people who are obsessed with 7 than I do the actual game. Like, Final Fantasy 7 fans. So many of them don't. There's so many Final Fantasy 7 fans that don't even have any memory of actually playing 7, that it is purely guided by nostalgia, and they aren't willing to critique it, and they freak out when you critique it. Which is usually my that's my sign of, oh, you don't actually care about the thing that you are claiming to love. Because I'm gonna be real, if you don't like people critiquing the thing you love, you don't love it. There's people who get very argumentative about people disliking their thing. It's like, no, we can have conversations. It's kind of like the conversations I got into a bit ago with people over people who were very, very mad at me for not saying or for me having a problem with Lulu getting together with Waka. And because I said, because Waka's racist. And it's like, he apologized and changed. It's like, sure, I wouldn't have been okay with having a kid with him just over a year later. That was my spot. Like, sure, okay, he's improved. I'm gonna need more than a year. I'm gonna need more than a year. That's kind of my bit there. I'm gonna need more than a year before I'd be like, yeah, no, he apologized. I'll sleep with him. Like, what? No. What? Especially in the case with Lulu. Like, Lulu, you were married to his brother. There's a couple character writing things that I have problems with. One, Lulu being married. I think if Final Fantasy X-2 took place 5 years later, I'd be okay with it. If it were 5 years later, I'd be okay with it. The fact that it is less than 2 years later, I have a problem with. Right? Like if it was 5 years, okay, we can start having these conversations. But like 2 years, no. No. We need more. I was thinking 5 years would have been much more interesting. Yep, creepy rebound. Exactly, Maru. Now, Waka's bad enough. But my problem comes with my main character gripe is I hate that brother still is crushing on Yuna in 10-2. In 10, he learns that Yuna is his cousin. In 10-2, he does not care that Yuna is his cousin still. And it's like, okay. This did not have to stay in the story. Like, why did we go this route with brother? Why did we decide that was the approach? It's just a why moment. Like, I don't know if it was failed comedy relief or like what the plan was there, but I hate it. Yeah, like in the first one, I give a bit of a pass because he didn't know, but he learned that Yuno was his cousin. Then we're just like, yeah, we're keeping that. Like, what? Why? Why are we? Okay, I think these sides are the same. Yep. Well, awkwardly, Mello, given some laws that are happening in the UK, that may stop being in a lot of media because apparently it's going to become illegal. Including as somebody pointed out, Game of Thrones would be made illegal under a law that they're trying to push through in the UK. So that'll be interesting. To see where that goes. Yeah. Any media portraying incest in any non-negative light, basically, is going to get banned, or they're trying to ban, or have banned. I don't know how the UK stuff is fully covered on that, but yeah, no, they're marking it as a crime that can land you in prison if you have the media. Like they're trying to put it on like the same level as early episode. Yeah, Fallout would be banned as well. People are mainly. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Mello. I don't know. Actually, I would argue, funny enough, Mello, the 4-kid censorship version, if we're talking Sailor Moon, would actually get it banned in the UK. Yeah, that's the opposite situation. That would get it banned. I don't think, see, Amaro, I think the issue is we're running into a situation where governments do not care about historical stuff. Like, that's the thing. They don't care about whether or not things are historical. Governments are trying to hide a lot of that stuff anymore. And that's how we end up in these situations. Well, I believe the case here, Clue, is a lot of the laws anymore are very much becoming very apparent that the case is not to make the thing illegal. It's to set a standard of, look, the government's totally against these things, while definitely knowing that the government and rich people are definitely doing things along these, is what a lot of laws have slowly just shown to be. So whoever's pushing these things, assume they have some interest in it. And they're trying to make it, look, I'm totally not. Because somebody probably knows about it and is spreading word like, no, look, I'm totally against it. So you look it up and they go, look, they started pushing a bill that bans it. Like, uh-huh. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Whether or not something is good or not is one perspective. Obviously there is some scientific stuff, but like, sharing that stuff can be somebody telling their story about their situation with it, but it doesn't care. Context doesn't matter when you are dealing with fascists. Right? Context doesn't matter when you're dealing with fascists. They will make their own context. And that's where the problem arises. People do not care. Yeah, EU gross, therefore illegal is the big thing. And that's how a lot of things are getting banned. It's like you can just say that you don't understand the thing. Sometimes art is meant to disgust you.
Wait a minute. Did
Mari,
Amari
not the time.
100 just say it was hammer time?
No,
Dance
Mari.
party.
Not the
No.
time. Not the time, Mari. Have a good one, Door. But no, like a lot of it is, remember, art is sometimes meant to gross you out. Like, that's the thing. Art is sometimes meant to gross you out. I mean, the music the music's got the right vibe for it. But nobody watching the VOD is gonna get that music portion. Which is just funny. Like, Mari, you're just talking randomly into space and break it down! Like, To those watching the VOD, if you are watching the VOD, you should listen to the song in the bottom right corner. It's got some really good bass to it. Like, it is a good jam, and I greatly approve, but it doesn't fit with the conversation whatsoever. Bam, 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 bam. Oop. There we go. No! I do feel really good getting kind of the general shape of a roof on here, though. Ba, 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 ba. Even if it's only half the roof, I'd be happy with that. It got very dark there. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Bow, 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 bow. No, you're good. You're good, Mello. You're good. But no, I think all forms of, even things we don't like, we should not be. If there are no direct victims, I don't think we should be banning things. There may be exceptions to this, but um, I think a situation where banning art that is not promoting specifically illegal activities and has story or conversation about it, it is very important to spread that stuff, is the thing. Like, we can't have conversations about things or even explain why they're illegal if you ban the existence of the thing. I also always find it funny. Everything that anybody ever tries to ban somehow doesn't ban the Bible when the Bible definitely qualifies for whatever they're trying to ban. And I think that is always an interesting thing that does need pointed out. Whenever anybody tries to ban something, it's like, you need to ban the Bible too. We can't do that. Why not? You know? It's like, listen, I don't care what your religion is, but you do have to understand that, like, the Bible would be banned in everything that they're trying to ban. Every single time they go, oh, this is something that we need to ban, and it's like, why? And it's like, because of this, and this. And it's like, okay, that's in the Bible. And they're like, well, the Bible's an exception. Like, uh-huh. Just making sure we're all on the same page here. Do 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 do. But no, Mel, I'm in that kind of same boat when it comes to stuff. Like, I try not to get into too serious of conversations on stream because I know my stream is kind of a getaway for a lot of people to avoid that. So I try not to talk too often, but I will occasionally make my statements if things segue into it. And yeah. I apologize for stressing anybody out there, but gestures at everything. Yep, rules for the politics is it's a lot. Okay. So that is half the roof kind of sorted. Obviously, I still need to make these sections on each. I need to... This area is going to be odd. This area out here. Because what we're dealing with is this shape. And I want to put a roof on that, which will expand that out a little bit more. And then we're going to carry off of that roof, however wide I end up making it, which I feel like right there feels really good. So if we go there, then we do a good curve out, but I don't want to deal with that right now. I just really don't want to deal with it. Like, I'm at a spot of I just don't wanna. I don't wanna. But like, we go there, there, and then on this one, instead of going further down, because that's a 3, and then we do a 2, then we go out. So it'd be there, and then we go out. And we go to there. That's a 2.5, that's a 2, and then we'd go to here. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. But I don't have the full roof shape. I just know I want that, right? So then when you're looking at it, you're getting this shape, and then this will be further out. Like, this will be probably this will probably extend further out this way as well. And then curve down, so I'll go up a little bit higher here. We're at an angle of that, but we'll go, that's 1.5. So it'll probably be up a little bit more and then up a little bit more. So just 2 rows out. There we go. I've been using gestures at everything to explain my stress levels quite a lot lately. As much as I wish it was me just being kind of like, things suck. It's like, no, things really, really, really suck. In a lot of ways right now. And I understand people needing to step away from a lot of it. The world is overwhelming. I try not to focus too much on it. Okay, so there. That would be another 1.5, right? Because we went up 1.5, so this only actually becomes a 1.5 here. And I want to go more than that, so we're going to do a 2.5. That becomes 3? Yeah, that becomes a 3. 1.5, 3. That becomes a very steep thing if I do it this way. The other option is I go here, and I do that, and I do that, and then we're looking at... That might be the better one, and then we do a tall one for this last bit. Can I get... Aha! Did it. And that gives me a 2.5. I go here, I think. Yeah, look at that curve. That's a good curve. Oh. And then from this side, we end up... Yeah. Yeah. That's about all I do, Bagged. I stream because you're new here, so I get to do this. I stream 10 times a week. I stream on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I do 2 streams each day. I do a morning one and an afternoon one. This is my full-time job. I make just enough to pay my bills, but this is my full-time job. So I stream at about noon Eastern time for 3 hours, and then I stream starting at 7:30 in the afternoon for about 2 hours, which means we're about near where I would normally end. But I'm off tomorrow, so I sometimes run longer. So I do 5 hours a day, give or take, and then that all fluctuates based on how I'm feeling that day or whatever. But we jump between those in order to give people breaks of their own to really step out, and it also encourages me to remember to eat and take care of myself because we're all bad at that. Everybody here has mental health problems, and we're all bad at it. Chet's sitting like, how dare you call me out for my mental health problems? And it's like, we have mental health problems. Nothing to be ashamed of. Just something we need to acknowledge and understand. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Some of us even have physical health problems. Come here. We're repopulating. 15? 16. There we go. I love how expansive my base already is, like with just where I've built things. So we've got stuff there, got this here, got plans here. I need to create more of the port, and I want to do the port along that entire beach. So the port is going to be massive, right? So we're going to have a whole port section there. We'll have a port along all of that, and then back here, we're going to have all farmland for a good chunk of this. And then this is going to be flowers for all of that. Probably even over to this island. Like, this will extend all of that with flowers. I might even mess with this river and cut it through here. So that way we can have even more flowers going on. Hey, Elusive. Which isn't ideal, but doing terraforming to get this river here, I think will be big. Oh, good luck, bunny. Oh, you're not going to watch it. Got it. I misunderstood. I reread. But yeah, we need to do terraforming through here because I want to carry this river through here and then cover this up. So that way we can have more of the meadows because I really want flowers to take over this area. But I need this to make sense. So having this river go here and just kind of cut that off, I think will be good. But that's a sizable area, right? So if we can get a river going there, and then I can have the flowers going here, and then I want to remove this island. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go over to that island. We're gonna start damaging the terrain, because why not, right? I did fine with the first like 2 Final Destinations because the practical effects are really corny. And if you frame by frame them, you can actually see them swap things out for mannequins and stuff. So I was fine with those. The later ones where they started getting better at them, though, that's where it kind of made me go, nah. Yeah, I need to get rid of this island here. Like this whole, at least this little bit, starting right at that. So let's get to the narrow part. Yeah, we'll go to like right here. We'll just cut across, and then we'll clean it up later. Main thing is we gotta start the terraforming process before we can actually terraform it. So, gotta terraform before you can terraform. Wait, gotta no. Gotta terraform before you can terraform. There we go, nailed it. I mean, Bunny, you're welcome to help. Anybody who has access to the server is welcome to help. And for those who are unaware, anybody who has a Streamloot subscription is able to join the server. Streamloot subscription and joining my Discord so you can get the role and get the mod pack and stuff. But it's technically not a closed server. Get rid of that tree. Get rid of that tree. Get rid of that tree. There we go. There we go. Burn now. Because I believe it was Nikki who helped me the other day. Nikki helped me remove an entire mountain the other day. The only rule they had was that they got to keep the stone. Like, yeah, no, take it. Got to keep anything they mined. My only request was that I got to keep the copper. Hey, L. Ba ba bum ba 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 ba. But yeah, I think getting rid of this chunk of terrain will be really good for this area visually, right? Because what I want to do is I want to have a port. I want their main export to be flowers. So having the flowers come across here makes a lot of sense. I'll connect a wall here to stabilize that, to really kind of control what's like who can come in and out. I want to widen the river here a bit, so that way boats can travel along that. But basically, we'll set up a mini port somewhere in here, probably like right here. That'd be where the flowers would be all manufactured into dyes. What kind of sub do you need? A Streamloot sub. So I do Streamloots. Streamloots is a way to mess with my streams in all sorts of ways. There's the link from Mari. And But I do Streamloots subs because Streamloots is a way I can feel a bit more secure because people have to go to another site to do it rather than the main site. And that gives me kind of a situation of, okay, they do care here. It's not somebody got a random gifted one and, oh, look, you're on the server now. Like, that is too risky. So having people kind of go around to Streamloots helps me feel better. Oh, sorry, I'm using a back scratcher. My back itched, and I'm like, oh, it feels so good. Why do back scratchers have to be so nice? Who is... Sorry, this has been cracking me up for a while. Somebody who is a Streamloots subscriber has enabled on all of their cards they play to be anonymous. So a lot of things just keep getting redeemed, and now my face looks silly because somebody anonymous redeemed it. I don't know who. I know they're a sub. But yeah, it doesn't tell me who, it just says anonymous. Ah. But yeah, it's kind of like people having the Patreon. It's like you've got to go out of your way. And Patreon is nice. Like, don't get me wrong. If you are a Patreon subscriber that is doing the same amount, you can also use Patreon if you'd rather do that instead of Streamloots. I'm not going to stop anybody there. But it's just easier. I'd like to do something special with Patreon one of these days. Where are you? Oh, the cattail. Sorry, I forgot. I changed to the cattails. My firefly bushes have a chance to look like a cattail instead. Which, Mojang, why didn't you make them cattails? Can we be real? They should be cattails. Come here. I put fire aspect on it and it's made my life better. I just want you all to know that. But yeah, I do technically have a Patreon. I don't get much from it. Patreon is more of a... Patreon to me is more of my pay it forward thing, where I get to kind of spend it on other creators I really enjoy. Because I think I only get 20 bucks a month, maybe, through my Patreon. Maybe 30. So I just pay some of that forward to other artists that really, like, inspire me with what they do. By supporting their Patreon, so it'll take it out of my Patreon to pay those Patreons a little bit, and it's really nice. So, like, I send it to Studson Studios, is where some of mine goes. I think I send $5 to Studson, and I send $5 to Crossing Crafts. They're both absolutely wonderful YouTube channels you should check out. Highly recommend. Piss off! Oh, let's go! That would have been impressive if it was on purpose. Sadly, it was just cool. Crossing Crafts is an absolutely wonderful channel. She hasn't posted anything for a bit, but her stuff is very, very happy and good vibes. And she's doing a lot of Animal Crossing stuff, which is always fun. I think part of it is she figured out how to do 3D or like hack the camera in Animal Crossing to get perspectives on buildings that she didn't normally have. And she's like, I gotta use this for references. But Studson Studios is one that should not be overlooked. Studson Studios has the same editing style, except a little more unhinged. His slowed down a lot because he just had a kid, which is why I'm like, I should support his Patreon. Him having a kid reveal was actually him, he did a craft video, and he was like, and we've made, and it was a baby. Like, oh, what? Him and his wife did a collab creation That was just like he had a baby. Which I appreciate the sense of humor there. Hey, Sleepy. I say wife. I don't remember if it was wife or not. Him and his partner did a collab and had a baby. That was terrifying. That's actually the first witch I think I've seen on the server. Come here. Crap. I'm being bombarded by pickups because of my magnet as well. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh my god, hit! Why can't I land a hit? Okay, for what it's worth, none of my attacks were landing. Like, none of them were landing. Did you just burn out? It fixes itself, but yeah, though that burns out in the middle of the night. Okay. Honestly, though, that skeleton wrecked me because I couldn't land a hit. And then the witch was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna poison you while you're fighting." Like, great. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 dow, 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 bow, dow, bow, bow. Woo. Woo, boo, boo, doo. Woo, boo, boo, doo. Oh crap! All my give me that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then. Oh, yeah, no, that's right, and then that's right, and then you go there. Do that. And then that there, and then I don't care about any of this. I'm gonna do that, do that, do that, and then just let it despawn. I don't need any of it. It can despawn. Like, that's the big thing. I don't need, if I need dirt, I'll craft dirt. We can craft dirt on the server. I'll craft it if I need it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a need for that much dirt. I will need it because I've talked about terraforming areas, but like, it's easy to craft. It's an unlimited resource. I'm not gonna lose my mind over a few pieces of dirt not getting picked up, you know? I'll just do that, and then I believe at an angle we can do 3, so we'll do this. Woo! I'm gonna need to get a conduit when it comes to actually terraforming this. Because this is gonna be hell to like mine out and then get the terrain to look right. So I'll have to get a conduit going. Not a huge deal, but something to be aware of. There we go. Oh, also, I should point out, Bagged, because you're the main one asking for stream stuff. In my Discord, I actually have a channel section called Creator Help. So if you ever need assistance with stuff like that, you can ask your questions there, and some people in the community might have an answer as well if I'm not able to answer it right away, or if you need recommendations, stuff like that. So that is a option. Let me double check something with that. Doo-doo-doo. Didn't get rid of that. I don't know. I really got to hit up Larmouth one of these days, because there was an upgrade to the stream avatars I wanted to do, and we never fully sorted that out, and that is on me. I had PC troubles, and then my mental health tanked, and I never got around to it. But we're on the upswing. We're on a mental health upswing. I'm sure many of you have kind of noticed that I'm on a mental health upswing. We did have trouble the last couple of weeks with my brain being horrible. For those who are unaware, I have depression. I have like severe depression issues, and I am unmedicated due to my financial situation. So I have to kind of deal with that. Combine that with depression, well, anxiety, and things like that, and it adds up. It becomes a lot. But y'all have been great for my mental health, and I appreciate y'all a ton, and just a genuine thank you again for being a supportive and wonderful community while I deal with my mental health problems as I do. What is bushy? I collected a bush. That was noteworthy. But yeah, I've been on an upswing. Right now my issue is I have been tired. So there have been some issues as a result of me just being outright exhausted, but other than that. My hope this year, as is my hope for any year, is to just raise our, with our streams. I would like to get more people active in the community. This isn't to say anybody doesn't have their reasons for being active. I just think I want to get the active, concurrent viewers up. It would be fantastic if there was some massive spike. I doubt it, though. But that is part of why I've been trying to do more Minecraft stuff, especially with the new PC, is that I know a lot of my community has overlap with Cleo. It makes sense. Cleo is my partner after all, so like, why wouldn't there be overlap there? But streaming more Minecraft and stuff, I think is overall a good situation, right? So doing more Minecraft, getting the progress on my builds and things like that should help, and having more things that when people look at my stream, they go, "Oh, wow!" and want to stay and give me a shot. Because that's the hard part with streaming. The hardest part of streaming is getting noticed in the first place. Which is why a lot of the YouTubers that you know of, other than like certain niche genres, specifically in Minecraft, are ones who have been doing Minecraft stuff for a long time, typically. Because to get noticed in Minecraft is really, really rough. Like, I started out doing YouTube, but I started doing it for Little Big Planet. When I started doing YouTube, I did Little Big Planet YouTube stuff. Which is all well and good. Love Little Big Planet, but that's what I started doing. And then I tried doing Minecraft. I did Minecraft for a bit. I ran a server. One of the members of my server actually got fairly sizable. I think 90,000 subscribers at one point. Now this was after mine ended. But it is cool to see that some members of the server did really find at least some success. Because I think he joined mine with less than 3,000. But he started doing stuff that more clicked with really young audiences and definitely didn't mesh with my own, which is fine. But it is cool to see that some members got success. One of the more mature members has kind of fallen off the face of the earth, but he did decent for a bit. But he was dealing with a lot of stuff trying to emigrate to Canada. And I know that got in the way of a lot. So I hope everything's going well for him. I hope he managed as well. But if you've ever seen me raid Gravion or Blockade, they were both also members of my server. But our server used to be called, and people who have been longtime people on the sub server would recognize it. But the server my original Let's Play server was called Ursa Minor, M-I-N-E-R, as a pun on everything. But you'll see it referenced from time to time. I've had different groups taking part in it at different times, trying to revive it and stuff. One of my favorite seasons, though, and this was still fairly early. I think this was the first year we were able to custom generate the world using built-in stuff in Minecraft. And I had done a custom world generation for the terrain and had a server based on that custom world generation. And I had done a new resource pack for the world itself. And that resource pack was designed where a lot of the colors were inverted, like grass was purple, the dirt was blue, and a lot of things were kind of based on that. And the reason for it was basically designed to be a alien planet. We had reduced gravity on the whole thing. We had slow falling. We had jump boost. And I think it was the first season that had command blocks, I think. But we had a bunch of stuff like that. And it was just this idea to create an environment where everybody really got to step outside the box with their creativity and do something new and unique. And it was a lot of fun. But I think that was when life started getting in the way for a lot of us as well, which it happens. But with Little Big Planet, I actually did a video podcast with my best friend at the time, and basically I created out of spite because I hated the one that was out there because it felt like they weren't trying anymore. Because there was only one video podcast, and it was popular enough that PlayStation was giving them attention. I actually got hate comments from their supporters a few times. I'm going, oh, you're just trying to copy them. It's like, no, I just hate that they're not trying. Was kind of the reason I did it. I hated that they weren't trying. And because they weren't trying, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do what they're doing. And it did make them try a bit harder. Now, props to one of the creators of the other podcast, because apparently, if I saw it right, I think they are part of a team that actually has an Oscar for, not an Oscar, I think it's an Oscar, for like movie editing and stuff now, which is great, and I'm proud of them. They were not showing the skill for that later. They were not showing, or for when they did Little Big Planet, they weren't doing enough, but to warrant that. But they've improved greatly over time, and I'm proud of them. But yeah, no, it's one of those things, because you can actually find old videos of me if you're searching. It really shouldn't be that hard, actually. I think with the information I've given is more than enough to find younger me. But one of the things that had bugged me with the other podcasts is they weren't really good at crediting where they got their information from. They would just say that like online blah 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 did this. And it's like no, I'm gonna mention this directly and say who did it and give credit to everybody where it's due. And I kind of stole their information sources by doing that. Like they stopped getting their behind the scenes info from the same people who were like hacking their system so they could find hidden files in the game and stuff because they weren't getting credit and they were getting annoyed. So they had stopped telling them, and they would tell my podcast first because it was like, listen, I didn't do this. Somebody else found the information and gave it to me. Is he following me? I gotta check if somebody's following me on Blue Sky. Let me check. No, he's not. I used to be followed for a long time by a lot of the community management from Media Molecule and Little Big Planet and stuff for a while. I wasn't sure if one followed me back or if they even exist on Blue Sky. But no, I was decently known in Little Big Planet just for communicating there. And I have friends who worked on some of the best stuff. Some of them were on my subscriber servers for a while as well. It was really cool. It was really cool to hang out with everybody, and I don't know. I hope Media Molecule makes something cool. I miss what they were doing with Little Big Planet. They're done with Made in Dreams other than stability stuff. I'd like to see more from them, you know? We have a sinkhole! Beep, beep, beep. But yeah, just looking at the map now, look, like we cut through there, right? That already feels better, but I need to get rid of that entire island. Now, I need to repair that shovel, so let's just spend this time now to get rid of these trees. There we go. Go. Bunny's been recording my sordid history today. No, I was talking about I was talking earlier on Blue Sky, just going, wonder where my life would. I had posted. I wonder where my life would be now if I had kept drawing furry porn. Because I used to do furry porn commissions back in like 2008. Life is a series of events. Woo! But no, what I really like about my history through everything is I have friends from all walks of life because of it, you know? And I think that's one of the coolest things. To know all these wonderful people, and I really need to get back into drawing, though, in general. I have taken a very long break, which is part of why I'm excited that, which again, it should be this weekend, we will have a update to the server that'll add the in-game painting, so we can at least do pixel art. Listen. I'm going to give this as genuine advice. If you are an adult, if you are 18 or older, and you want to get a lot better at art, especially realistic art, drawing porn is one of the best ways to do it, because you are going to get a handle on anatomy so much better than if you're trying to bother with clothes. You can learn to add clothes later, but naked, like, artistic, like, nude models, bodies in weird positions, oh my god, you are going to get so much better at drawing people if you draw porn. Like, it is access to, like, some of the best line work you will ever get. So, I mean this genuinely. You are an adult. It is a worthwhile venture. Obviously, if you are underage, do not do this. Do not follow this advice until you're 18 years old. In the meantime, you can draw characters with like in their underwear. I don't know. I don't know what the ruling is on that. Follow your country's laws and regulations. Do 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 do. But, like, artistic nudes are a great way to get the hang of anatomy, but you only get so much out of that. You don't get, like, interaction between two people typically when you're doing that. Did you where did you even spawn? I guess you must have spawned on a branch of a tree, but wow. Do 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 do. Ba-na-na-na-na. Creeper. I love that the second creeper just like, yeah, hi. Like, oh. There are two people, and there are two of my regulars that I would have loved to have chime in during that draw porn conversation. One of which I know does draw porn. The other one, I don't know if they ever have, but I feel like they probably have. At least softcore. One of them I know does hardcore. I don't know if the other one does Eddie, but it is a question I now have. This music went from, like, smooth jazz to this, and it's the same artist. This is great. Apparently the band came out in, I think it was 76, according to a little bio on it. Hearing stuff like this when it comes to music just stuns me, because I know there was an era where, or a time period, and there was people going that this music is awful, and it's like, even if this wasn't a genre I enjoyed, I would be lying to myself if I thought this was awful. I don't know how people could lie to themselves about going, oh, that music's horrible. Like, hell, even if I loved, like, classical arts and stuff, you can feel the passion in this music, you know? And I don't think any art, if you're being passionate about it, can be inherently bad. Hey, Taiga! Do 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 do. See, this is the type of music that should have been used in the Ready Player One movie. If they had acknowledged that the books were, you know, actually decent. Well, that the book was decent. I am not talking about the sequel. God, Ready Player One went from an all right book to a really bad cash grab movie that destroyed the writing of all the characters in it. It gave me the vibe of like a sci-fi movie starring teenagers where they were flying a spaceship through space and it had like Tron trails coming off of it. That's what it gave me. That was the vibe it gave me. Like Tron inspired music video in space. I love though, this is the same artist as that last song. Bam, 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 bam. Do, 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 do. Ba-da-da-da-da. Can I'm gonna make a mess here. I want to do that, 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 that. I'm just cluttering my inventory with leaf litter. Because with the leaf litter, I could at least recycle it. I get a good vibe of, honestly, Amaru, Mega Man. Early Mega Man. Before shit goes down, early Mega Man. You have an empty egg with tiny... I mean... Fair, Taiga. But, Taiga, did you drink your water? Did the water help your headache? We went over this earlier. Did water help your headache? Yeah, okay, so it was caffeine, but you should also get a lot of water, Taiga. It was a caffeine headache, but you need to hydrate better. You really do. That may be, but you still need it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Otherwise, you're gonna get a lot more headaches, and you're gonna keep sleeping horrible. If you start drinking more water, you'll sleep better. So, meh. Like, so many health issues, Taiga, that you are having are probably you need water. And I hate being that simplified on it, but you need water. Woo! That wasn't even that close to me. What? But no, I think you would do well if you got some of those sports drink tablets and whatnot. Hey, Mal! Hello? Hello, Raiders. Hello, hello. Hope you had a good stream. We're just chilling and chatting while I chop down some trees that are on an island that I'm going to remove. Boop. Chopping trees generally on this server is not a necessary thing because you can make an auto tree farm. So you can get away with never chopping a tree again unless they're in the way, which is what I'm dealing with here. They're in the way. Oh, we've almost got them all. Do 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 do. I have never played Hollow Knight, and it is not for any reason against Hollow Knight. It's just I'm really bad at combat games, and I'm cool with Metroidvanias, but I'm not a huge fan of Metroidvanias. I respect the game. Thank you, Mao. I love this new model. It is good. Yeah. Well, so originally I wasn't sure what I was going to be sitting on. Originally it was going to be kind of like a ledge. And I'm like, screw it, we're floating. The idea evolved in a fun way. The PNG tuber does need some work yet. There's other faces that I haven't enabled yet and things like that. I've needed to work on getting the energy for it. But there's actually supposed to be like, if I start shouting, it's supposed to change my face and all that too. And I'm supposed to have a sad face, there's a crying face, all that. What's really fun though, for those who haven't noticed with my PNG tuber, my markings move. They are in a completely different spot than they were 10 minutes ago. They are slowly moving around and going wherever they want. A lot of people don't notice it. Yeah, the markings are meant to be representative of an ink blot. So, or a Rorschach test. It was the original thing, and they used to be symmetrical, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. So we opted to remove the symmetry of the model to do this because actual symmetry was really difficult to do for something that wasn't looking directly at the screen. I've realized I can probably do it fairly easy now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I want to do it now that I've gotten used to this, but I think I just realized if I doubled up all the markings and had one rotating the opposite direction, started at the same location, it would be fairly symmetrical. I feel like you're getting that just from the colors, Mao, but I mean, fair enough. I'm not a Zelda person, so. The colors are actually inspired by the Nebulous Pride flag. There is a link in somewhere in my credits. If you do a search for flag, I think it'll pop up. Created by Jaws Stone. But it's a really cool flag that I think handles my gender identity really well. And it is basically, I don't like gender. Gender is weird and scary, and I'd rather not have one at all. But I guess I have one, and I'm non-binary. Because that's where my brain sets on it. But I love that my pride flag is gender is weird. But the colors are the same, except I saturated them. Warning! You've got head pigeons has dropped below 5%. I love that. I'm sorry. Warning! You've got head pigeons has dropped below 5% is just an amazing message to have on my screen. Okay, before we break that, let's collect this. You really should, Taiga. We've been telling you this for months. Brr, brr, brr. Do do do. Burn down, down. Okay, collect as many of these leaves as we can. While I do agree that I do agree with your statement that sleeping is boring. I would also like to raise you that being awake and really, really tired, also quite boring. Just something to keep in mind there. Because Starry is sleeping. Jesus. Okay, we need to go to the end portal. I need to put that in my offhand. Leg spike! Step here. I added a sword for people who need it. Me, I'm people that need it, because I don't carry a sword on me anymore. See, Tyga, stuff can be really funny when you haven't slept, but you don't end up remembering it very well if you're not tired, is the problem. So you could just find things you enjoy more. Do-do-do-do. Like, I can always, like, if you're looking for something funny that's a TV show that's good for your attention span, I recommend Taskmaster. Taskmaster's got most of their episodes uploaded, well, all of them in the US, it depends on your country, but Taskmaster has all their episodes available on their YouTube channel. And it's a very, very enjoyable experience. Do 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 do. Hey, Timber. Yeah, resting will really help you be better at art. That is no joke. So you go there. I'm gonna put you back in there. There. Boopity boop. Boopity boop 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 boop. Again, for those who haven't seen my base, started in this downstairs. There's a creepy statue of me over there that Lee put in. But we go in here. And you get my little space void room. Does Onyx die? I don't remember who Onyx is. Timber, can you refresh me? It's been like 6 years since I've read it. So I'm a bit out of touch on him. Jason's cat. I don't remember. I don't remember, Timber. I don't remember. Wait. In-game. The in-game cat? Are we talking in-game cat? It was in-game, right? Yeah. Oh, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't believe there's a problem that you will have there. How far are you into the book? Like, you're still in the first book. 12 chapters? Things will get very interesting as things go on, Timber, I think is the good way to put this. But I don't think you have anything to worry about. I don't think you have anything to worry about as far as my memory goes. Come on, shriveled Pac-Man ghosts. Currently got 16. Hey, we got a dead bush. Okay, get rid of that, get rid of that. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Yeah, no, they're noses. Or not Pac-Man ghosts, sorry. They're just shriveled Pac-Mans. But look at the nose. Look at the nose. It's Pac-Man. It's a shriveled and dried up Pac-Man. That is a Pac-Man. You can't convince me otherwise. You're trying hard to see it? Look. Eye, and mouth, and it's Pac-Man. The mouth goes all the way back. You've got the entire yellow portion of the face is Pac-Man. And it's all shriveled and pruny and dehydrated. I've seen it since the very beginning. Hey, Rosewolf. Ba ba da ba 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 da 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 ba da. I'm gonna need to get rid of this island too, so let's hit this really quick. They got an adjacent tree. There we go. And I'm gonna need to get rid of these two. What's evil? What did I do, Rose? I'm confused. What's evil? Me calling it a shriveled Pac-Man ghost? It looks like a shriveled Pac-Man ghost. I am not responsible for that. Or shriveled Pac-Man, not ghost. I keep saying ghost. I still don't think I am at fault for that. I didn't design it. Like, it's not even subtle. Just be glad they didn't put the nostrils on the side of the head, or it'd be even more obvious. Like, if they side nostriled that face, oh. Just need to change the sounds of it to go baka 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 baka. That's not my fault. Grian has a you look easy to draw face. We really can't be going, oh, Grian's face and everything. It's like Grian's face is literally like the two periods in the underscore like emoticon that people do. Like it's not, there's not enough there. That's like seeing a Grian face in Minecraft is like seeing a face in anything in real life. Like, it's just something we're conditioned to see as humans. We look for faces that are there in order to observe our surroundings and be aware of things around us, like, as a whole. Oh, those are gravel. I thought those were stone. Cool. So I'm gonna need to terraform this, but this at least feels good seeing the water level of it. I'll probably add in some terrain here. But we'll open this up. We'll knock off that corner. We'll probably terraform this a bit here. Oh, I need to do that, that. And then at some point we'll take off the magnet to get rid of this stuff. Actually, what's fun is with doing this, like I can go here and I can grab all of this. Right, like I can just grab all of this and we're good. And then I can go. Okay, and then I'll go to my storage. I'll go to a waystone. One sec. Hello, Mari. Are you behaving? That's a no. Immediately turned away from me. Then we go here, and then we go to the lighthouse. Weep. Weep. There we go. And yes, I voted for the armadillo, and people are probably like, you wanted dog armor? No, I wanted armadillos. I voted for armadillos simply because I wanted armadillos. I did not care about any other trait or anything that they could be adding to the game. I just wanted armadillos. And why did I want armadillos? So I could reskin Mari into the game. That is a whole dinner. Listen, sometimes Mari's hungry. I do wish it wasn't a 3-banded armadillo, but I mean that's neither here nor there. What was it? 3-banded armadillos are one of the brands of armadillo that are immune to leprosy? I think it's leprosy, yeah. Because only humans and armadillos can contract leprosy, and 3-banded armadillos do not get leprosy. Some other breeds do. But 3-banded armadillos are immune to leprosy. The more you know. Unless the internet lied to me. Egg cartons. Cartons, Taiga. At least in English, they're cartons. I don't know what they are there, but cartons. Woo! Foot cramp. No problem. Do 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 do. Oh. We've done a lot, and I'm just over here. We really didn't do too much today, but I feel good about it. Like, I mean, we started putting a roof on the main building, which does feel good. Like, that feels good to have done that. Figured out a little bit of shape there. Mainly getting some of that structure in. Especially because this was an impromptu stream. I didn't really have come in here doing anything. But I want to remove this island. We got all the trees off of it. We're slowly getting there. Do 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 do. Ba ba bum. Go along there. Oh, y'all want to see something? Check this out. Let's go. Go Starry's base. So Starry has some stables over here. Woo, leg spike. Oh, nice, Taiga. This is Starry's base. Starry has a Gru plushie. That's a Gru plushie. Starry also has a Cameron of Encouragement. I'm also aware my skin has a missing pixel. There is a missing pixel right there that is just white. And I feel at this point I need to leave it. Yeah, on the sleeve right there, underneath the outward part, there is just a stray stray white pixel. But it's a words of encouragement, Cameron. Da bunnies, da banuis. Ugh. Boo, 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 boo. You're holding a carrot. And we got the cows. You jumped your fence. They found freedom. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't sure. Yeah, trapdoor in the middle is a neat little touch there. Well, they likely spawned in. Well, rabbits can jump higher than a block and a half, can't they? Like, I'm pretty sure they just have the ability to jump higher than a block and a half. I think a block and a half is their... is like the... I think they can jump like a block and... I think it's a block and 3/4 jump height. They are rabbits. They're known for jumping. It's kind of their like one thing. Oh. Let's make this funny. You probably have a lead. Oh, I have set my spawn at your bed now. Lead? Didn't you have a lead? Where'd your lead go? What happened to your lead? Ah. Thank you. I only need one. I only need one. Oh, those are in my inventory now. Yeah, I wanted to do something here though. I wanted to go. No, this will be funny. This will be funny. I'm gonna take this donkey. Got this donkey. No. Take the donkey. How does this work again? I gotta remember how this works. There we go. Nailed it. So you should be able to ride the camel if you try, Starry. You should be able to get on the camel, no problem, since they're two-seaters. And then you can ride the camel around while transporting the donkey. What's really funny though is if you get really good at this, so you could stack a camel on 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 a camel. Starry exploded. Did you just go to spawn to do that? Yes. Sorry, just use the other camels. Wait, what? Sorry, wait, what were you doing? Were you about to go into the nether to get the camel to your base? Press E. There's a scroll on the right side of your inventory. Okay. Sorry. Hop off the camel. Hop off the camel and connect a lead to the camel. Now teleport. There you go. Overcomplicating things. Also, just as a thing for anybody curious, you can do this now. Whoop! You can go up 2 block high instead of 1.5. There you go. Take your dromedary. So it should be, if you have it connected with the lead, but you have an empty, if you're holding it with a lead, but you have an empty offhand, you should be able, or if you have an empty hand, and then you shift right click on the camel you want it on, it goes on, I think is the ruling. Hello. You're just asking for those to get killed by walking into the cactus, aren't you? Empty hand. So, use empty hand. You have to have one, use a lead on the one, and then empty hand, and then shift on the other. What are you trying to do? You've got a camel to a camel. Now nothing in your hand. And If I go, boop. Wait, give me. I need. Give me a lead. Give me a lead. Just needed one. Two is gonna cause me problems. There, right? And now I have an empty hand, and I hold shift. It might be because it's the same one. Maybe that's the issue. Or maybe camels are immune to the rule. Are camels immune to the rule? Is that what's happening here? So if I go there. Crap, I've created a chain where I can no longer get the lead because I've connected too many. You may not be able to put a camel on a camel. Yeah, that's what it is. You can't camel a camel. But I think you can donkey on a horse. Can you donkey on a horse? Will that work? Or can you can you put the dog on a horse? Or maybe it's only camels can have one riding them. I think it's camels and llamas can have one riding them. That might be the problem. You got equine centipede. I don't know how to tell you this, Star, but your donkey appears to be eating your horse's ass. That ass is inside another ass. Dad ass in dad ass. But yes, there's a lot of little tweaks for all the mobs. Nautili are also adjusted. There is one downgrade to them. They now cost hunger when you're riding them slowly, so that way you're not overpowered, but they are like little changes is like I think the main thing with them. I will say this though, for the sake of their survival, what you may want to do, Starry, is put a campfire underground right under the underneath the fence post you have there, and then they'll get regen just for being in this area to heal them from any damage, since campfires grant regen. So that way, if they do bump into your cacti you've got over there. I will say it does not work on iron golems, so if you do make iron golems, they will not be healed by it, because they're not healed by regen, they're healed by iron, so it's a slightly different scenario for them. But yeah, if you put a campfire underneath that, you'd probably be good. You need to put it right there or one lower and have it covered so you don't even get the particles or anything. Hope that's Silk Touch. Yep. But yeah, put it one lower and then put the dirt under there. That is a weird crawling moment. How did you manage to crawl there? How did you manage to crawl there? What? Oh, you were under the... Were you under the lamp? You're under the lamp. That's what it is. The lamp's... I'm guessing the lamp's hitbox is a little bit bigger. No. Maybe? Yeah, it's gotta be... Yeah, the lamp's hitbox must be a little bit bigger than the fence post. I didn't know that. Wrong button. There we go. But it's mainly meant to transport, like, villagers and stuff. You can transport villagers on the back of camels, things like that. I think you can technically also put boats with mobs in them on the back of the camel as well. So, like, if you were to put a lead on a boat, you could put the boat on the back of the camel. I think there's also... I might be wrong on this, but I think there's also an enchant now for saddles. Let me double check. let me check. So saddles, I think, have durability now is one of the big things. I think was one of the changes here, but I want to double check. Oh, there's also some new potions. Potion of haste, potion of hunger, potion of glowing, potion of night vision, potion of blindness you can make with a pitcher plant, and potion of decay. There was a thing about saddles, and I'm trying to find it. Or maybe that was a different data pack I didn't do. Saddle. The main thing might just be that the stats are listed on the saddle now. Yeah, no, that's it. Okay, I was mixing up with another one. But you can see the stats of them on the saddle, which for those who haven't seen it, this is pretty cool. If I open the inventory, look. Sprinting speed. 43.1 F, which is kilometers per hour, but 43.1 kilometers per hour. So it's a really cool little addition. So if I go on this one, we can check here, and we can see the movement speed and jump strength are all here. So you can see the 41.7 kilometers per hour for movement speed. And then when sprinting, 76. Jump strength. You get like a better kind of insight into all of it. So you can really tell the speed of the mob. You can stack a horse on top of a camel. Yes. It is a data pack called Trails and something. If you just search for Trails and under data packs, you should be able to find it. But basically, they did a lot of adjustments to different mobs. Starry, out of curiosity, is there a reason you have voices entirely muted on the server? Just because I've noticed you have like full disabled on voice chat, and I'm just curious. It drains your battery having it connected? I mean, that's fair. But would not reducing the volume help? Like if you just turned your volume off on it? I don't know. Weird that that would reduce your volume. Because you could connect it to anything for your mic and just mute your mic, and then you'd still be able to hear other people. But, no, I don't know. I like that the smoke is still escaping somehow. Like, what? Back to my base. Back to my base. It is getting late. I just want to remove a little bit more of that terrain, though. I still love this pillar design, and I have to remember this as a thing. Just to show this off again. This looks really cool. Using the catalyst there. And port. I did! I flipped a catalyst, and I could see its butthole. The catalysts have a butthole. I didn't design them. Don't judge me. Eh. Oh, nice earthquake. Wait, is the remaining one that you have to wait years? Because I know that's like the last one for most people is like, yeah, don't play the game for like 8 years. Like, oh. Oh no, sorry. Ah, got it. So what you're saying is you're a cheater, Earthquake. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Doo-doo. 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 I want tacos. God, tacos sound really good right now. I say that. My fridge, the fridge side of my fridge, not the freezer side, is actually completely empty right now, though. Other than a little bit of caffeine. I need to do grocery shopping again. The fridge side is arguably usually less empty just because the lifespan of what is in that for me is not the best, and I don't have much of a food budget. But the fridge portion is fairly empty right now. I think I have shredded cheese left on that side. But usually what I get is shelf stable stuff or freezer stuff, not fridge stuff. Fridge stuff doesn't have the lifespan. For somebody who forgets to eat half the time, it's not good to have food that also goes bad. I think you might be wrong on this one. The caffeine is not part of the equation for tacos. Oh, my nose itches. Hey, Bigby, when are you getting back on the server? I'm assuming you've just been busy, but I gotta give you crap. You haven't been on since you had the internet problems. Shredded cheese alone is a meal at 4 a.m. Wow, wow. Also, I don't know if anybody noticed this on the server. The server has actually been updated. Well, I say updated. I started modifying player heights on the server. So if people volunteer the information of how tall they are to me, I will adjust their Minecraft model to be as tall as they are in real life. So we're actually ending up with some like height diversity of the characters. And I think that as a little thing is just really cool. To like let characters be just a little bit like taller and stuff. It makes me really happy. I'd love to see Minecraft just have that officially, where we could adjust our height within like a set range, and like even if the hitboxes were all the same size, just being able to adjust the hitbox a little bit. If somebody is over 2 meters, yes, they will. Well, they would jump into door frames, but for what it's worth, I don't think Bigby, given the height that Bigby gave me, will be able to walk under trap-doored hallways, like trap-doored doorways, without ducking. Because Bigby is officially the tallest one on the server at this point in time. I believe Bigby is 6'4". I'm in second at 6'2". Well, you said 6'4", didn't you? You lied to me, Bigby. You lied to me. I'm just going off memory. Whatever you submitted is what I measured. Methinks I have to redo Bigby's math because someone lied. Hey, let me double check this. Did Bigby lie to me? Do. No, you gave me centimeters. You probably didn't lie to me. I just went off memory and did it wrong. Do. I need to edit a little bit here. Do. 1 sec. Because we got a new member in our server, but their name doesn't match. I believe it was spelled bagged underscore head. I don't know if bagged is still here, but it was bagged underscore head. And manage. Edit roles. Star of approval. There we go. Boop. I have not measured my height in a long time, but I have no doubt that I have no expectation that I've lost height. I'm technically 6'1" and like 3/4, but that's why I just round, because who the hell wants to spend the time going 6'1" and 3/4? Like it's 6'2" at that point. But yeah, for those on the server, there's a channel in the Discord where you can just apply your height there. I'll do the math, and then I'll figure out the scaling command for each player. I think Lee is the shortest. Lee is either the shortest or the second shortest now. Starry is ever so slight. Was it? Starry, were you ever so slightly taller than Steve? No, Input is ever so slightly taller than Steve. Ever so slightly. But yeah, no, it's. I think it's just really nice to see like players of different height. You all still have the same jump height. You also have the same movement speed. None of that's changed by it. It's just the scale of your model. So it lets people do a bit more. There's a Big B. So Big B. Big B, prepare to get taller. Now, what did I write down for Big B? 1.0583 repeating. 1.058333333333. Boom. There we go. Are you? Oh yeah, Rose is slightly shorter. That was it. I think Lee was 5'6". But it's really neat to see like people of different height on the server and stuff. I really enjoy it, you know? Like it's one of those things where having player model diversity just really makes it feel better, and that's such a subtle thing to change. Okay, let's take what we've got here. We'll go back to our storage. So I can go here, and then I can just go drop all that off, and then I'm gonna go like this again. But that'll get me bone meal, which I can turn into dye. Beep, 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 doo, boo, doo, boo, doo, boo, boo. Well, I mean, methinks the cat next to me may be having dreams. He's chirping in his sleep. I don't want to say his name or I will wake him. But he is a tuxedo cat. He's snoring really loud. His snores sound like his snores are very high pitched. It sounds akin to like when you have like really strong winds and it's whistling through the it whistles through the window frame a little bit because it's not perfectly sealed because the wind is so strong. That's what it sounds like. But yes, to those on the server, there will be a mod pack required update from everybody soon. You don't have to necessarily download the update pack that I'll be releasing, but I did post a link to both of the mods that would need downloaded if you want to download them preemptively. You can still log onto the server with them downloaded, so there's not like a huge requirement like, oh, you've got to download the pack, well, but you just need to download the two that I've got listed. Nothing else is required if you want them. But it is crazy paintings and a particle mod that will allow you to emit particles wherever you want in your base. Great cool stuff. Huzzah! I wasn't expecting that musical, like, sound in this music. That... I wonder if there's a player head that is just the Cubone helmet, Big B, and then you could wear the Cubone helmet on top of your model to have a bigger helmet. I mean, I'm slowly learning how to do the model replacer stuff, so in theory, could find a Cubone head to replace as like the model texture on a diamond helmet with that name or something. I don't know the rules on how all that works. I'm gonna get yelled at for my shovel in a second. The fact it hasn't is actually kind of alarming. I got 113, really? Does it at like 5%. There we go. Storage! I love that. You've got hedge pigeons is less than 5% durability. It's just such a happy line for me. Go to the nurse. You've got head pigeons. Can I be a dick here? Ah, I want to rename this. I want to rename that. I hate that it's lowercase. Ugh. Oh, big stretch. We'll be ending soon. We've gone for 3.5 hours. Makes up for the slightly shorter stream this morning. Because normally on Wednesdays we do like a 4-hour in the morning. But Cleo's odd schedule today kind of made me want to adjust mine to not screw myself over and make sure Cleo's stuff was all working correctly. Which it wasn't, so I'm glad we went over right away, because I did botch something up, which, my bad. I forgot to click save on a thing I did, so it was just spamming. Type your message here or whatever. Like, oops. So glad that got sorted. I'm glad I went right away. That back. I'm gonna clean up this space. If I just do this really quick. There we go. Grab all that. We can take that back off. There we go. Go here. Ender pearls away. And I've cleaned the area. Boobadoo, boobadoo. Oh, this is dangerous. Why would you not have leaves above me right here? So dangerous. Yeah, I need to get food. I have not eaten in a while. Totally on me. By the way, if anybody ever needs charcoal, I got plenty. The pies are accumulating. Look at that, we got a double chest. We got a chest full, and then we're working on a second half of pies. For a passive thing, that is not bad. I'm gonna take these out of there and put those in my other storage, though. They don't belong over here. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Throw that in there. But yeah, just got a lot of leaves to go through there. But I appreciate y'all hanging out today. It has been a fun night. We are off tomorrow, for those who are unaware. It is my day to kind of do behind-the-scenes stuff if I have the energy for it. If I don't... That was an armor stand, Rose. I have armor stands of a couple people just stacked up in there. Just as I toy around with the armor stand stuff. But I appreciate y'all hanging out. Tomorrow is our day off, so as a reminder, we will not be streaming tomorrow. We will be streaming... on Friday morning. But tomorrow's our day off to try and do some behind-the-scenes work, take care of ourselves, all that fun stuff. But I appreciate y'all coming by so much. Let me see if I can send you somewhere. I gotta see who's live out of those I would send to. Let's see. I am going to send you today to... Boo-doo-boo-doo-boo-boo. I don't remember following this person. But I think... No? Who are you? I don't know who you are. Oh, I remember you. Okay, this person has a really cute model. Oh no, they're AFK. Nope, they're AFK. Never mind. I was gonna send you somewhere, and they're AFK. I don't want to send to a AFK stream. I'm gonna send you today to... God, I don't know where to send y'all. Here's the thing. Some days you just hit the spot. And you're like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna send you all to... Why is everybody playing different things? You know what? I don't normally do this. I'm gonna send you all over to Joe. I don't normally raid up, but we will send you over to Joe, and you can go bug Joe. So, go be kind, go be... Joe is marked for mature audiences? I didn't know that. Alright. Well, I love and appreciate y'all. I hope you have a fantastic one. That said, I will catch you all next time. See ya. Love ya. Bye-bye.
感じるコスモを感じるわ